This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Haley Renteria.
And I'm Cooper Beaumariage. Just over 6 weeks ago, a professor in the College of Education was placed on paid leave after Texas Tech officials started an investigation into potential discriminatory harassment in the classroom.
But as of today, that professor has been reinstated and is being allowed to return to his teaching duties. MCTV first reported on the story back in March after the university released a joint statement from the university president, Lawrence Skuvanek, and system chancellor, Ted Mitchell. The statement addressed social media posts created by an assistant professor, Heidel Funes Flores, that were found to be, quote, hateful, anti-Semitic, and unacceptable to TTU leadership. That same announcement also stated that an investigation was underway to find out if, quote, any of the anti-Semitic sentiments expressed by Professor Funes' social media comments have found their way into the classroom or work environment and are deemed to be discriminatory harassment. At that time, it was also announced that the professor would be suspended with pay until an investigation by the Office of Equal Opportunity was completed. On Friday, President Skuvanek and Chancellor Mitchell sent a letter to Texas Tech faculty addressing the situation and stating that Professor Funes Flores was no longer suspended due to lack of evidence found during the investigation. However, the letter goes on to say that Skuvanek and Mitchell, quote, deplore the social media posts by Funes Flores and that they go against the university's code of ethics, but it also states that Texas Tech recognizes the First Amendment and faculty members' right to speech and expression. The letter continues by stating that, quote, Texas Tech's Code of Ethics outlines a standard of conduct for members of our community. Our words and actions should help students become responsible citizens, prepared to engage with others who have differing views in a civil, respectful manner. Professor Funes Flores' social media comments fail to fulfill this broader responsibility. Funes Flores is very active on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. He announced his return to his position on Friday, but has avoided making any direct comments regarding the matter.
In other news, Texas Tech Spirit Program is bringing home another national award after a successful run at last week's National Cheerleaders Association Collegiate Cheer and Dance Championships. On Saturday, Tech advanced Small Division 1A Co-Ed Cheer Squad headed to the band shell at Daytona Beach, Florida. At the end of their final round of competition, the squad won the national championship for the first time in program history. Tech's small co-ed team is made up of 4 men, 16 women, and Raider Red. The team beat out fellow finalists North Carolina State, BYU, Louisville, and Kansas. Saturday's national championship marks the 3rd title for Tech Cheer, with the large co-ed team winning in 2017 and 2019. This year's Advanced Large Co-Ed Division 1A team finished in 2nd place behind Weber State. Overall, the TTU Spirit program has won 9 national championships, including 6 titles captured by the Palm Squad, and a World Championship also won by Palm in 2022.
Back here in Lubbock, fans of the local art community gathered together for a long-running event showcasing the creativity of residents here on the South Plains and beyond. The 46th Annual Lubbock Arts Festival took place on Saturday and Sunday at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. The event featured art exhibits, performances, demonstrations, and interactive activities for both attendees, young and old. More than 100 artists from across the United States attended the event, offering a variety of items for sale, including paintings, pottery, jewelry, and more. Dave Bullard, the spokesman for the Arts Festival, says that the event is a great way to help people engage with local artists.
The Lubbock Arts Festival is in its 46th year, so for 46 years this festival has been here to connect people to art and to the arts community. Lubbock, as you probably know, has a really vibrant arts community here with a lot of art galleries and a lot of arts going on. And this is just a way to showcase that in a more family-friendly way, to bring art to people in a way that they would enjoy.
The annual Lubbock Arts Festival also featured works and performances by dozens of faculty, staff, and students from Texas Tech. One of Saturday's highlights was the first ever Festival de Mariachi in Lubbock, which included a showcase performance that included TTU's own Mariachi Los Matadors.
Throughout the spring semester, a popular set of events at the CMLL building have allowed dozens of Texas Tech students to learn more about Chinese culture while enjoying food, entertainment, and drinks from the other side of the world. MCTV's Luke Johnson stopped by room 114 again last week to join in the experience one final time before the semester ends.
On Wednesday last week, Texas Tech students crammed in the CMLL building for the Chinese Tea House's final event of the semester, a bubble tea festival. The event started off with a lecture on the history of bubble tea. The drink, sometimes referred to as boba, originates from Taiwan and has become increasingly popular in the States. Chinese instructor Ann Chen details the boba experience in Taiwan.
So everyone drinking boba every day. So it's like typically you just ride your scooter and you get your boba and drink it. And it's typical people have like afternoon tea for the boba and with some dessert too.
After learning the origins, students had to learn what exactly bubble tea is and the process to make it. Specific measurements and terms were taught so students could make the Taiwanese beverage on their own.
Boba tea. And boba tea basically is milk tea with tapioca pearls. So we had a couple tables with tapioca pearls cooked live, some boiled water, milk powder, mix it in, we get this beautiful brown caramel color, and we drink it in celebration.
As the line grew the length of the classroom, the Bubble Tea Festival was in full swing. Scooping the tapioca pearls, the head director of events made sure everyone got their boba fix. Here at the Boba Tea Festival, Miss Wong does not skimp out on the boba. Being the last event, TTU students will miss out on these immersive events during the summer, but fear not. Chinese Tea House events will resume next semester. For more information on the Chinese Tea House and the TTU Chinese Language Program, head over to facebook.com/ttu.chinese.language. With MCTV, I'm Luke Johnson.
The spring season is only a few weeks old, but it's already starting to feel like summer, especially after a warmer than normal weekend here in the hub city.
So will the recent jump in high temperatures continue into the second last week of April? Weather specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us now in studio with a look at what to expect over the next few days in the MCTV forecast. Elizabeth?
Oh, that's right, Cooper. We definitely did have a warmer weekend. I saw lots of Texas Tech students heading to the pool to soak up the warm weather and sunshine, and it looks like that's going to continue at least for the next couple days. Yesterday, we hit 91 degrees, not quite our record, but it's setting us up for another warm week. As we take a look at today's highs in the South Plains, highs in the lower 90s and upper 80s across the area. Snyder, high of 89, Turkey, 84, Matador 86, Demet 85, Brownfield 89, Morton 88. So definitely another warm day for the South Plains. Some wind also moving into the area as we head on into tonight. Gusts in the upper 20s, upper 30s. We could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour this evening. That's going to taper off as we move into the early morning hours of tomorrow and then pick right back up in the mid-morning hours. And gusts are going to be in the upper 20s, upper 30s. Again, we could also see gusts in the 40s. That's going to continue on into tomorrow and taper off as we move into our Wednesday. As we take a look at tonight, lows definitely dipping lower than what we saw last week, but a pretty mild night for the South Plains. Snyder 54, Turkey 55, Matador 57, Brownfield 53, Morton 49. Tomorrow, another warm one, but we're tapering it back just a little bit. No 90-degree temperatures tomorrow, but definitely highs in the upper 80s for most parts of the South Plains. Tomorrow, Snyder 88, Turkey 85, Matador high of 86, Brownfield 85, Morton 83. And again, not a good day to wear a hat tomorrow as we will see some pretty high wind speeds. Tonight here locally in Lubbock, a low of 54. Tomorrow, another warm one with a high of 85, winds averaging about 20 miles per hour. Looking into the rest of our week, Thursday continuing the warm trend with a high of 86 and mostly sunny skies. Then Friday, we do have a cool front moving in, dropping temperatures about 20 degrees or so. We have a high of 65 on Friday. Saturday, even lower with a high of 57, Sunday 63, warming back up once again on Monday as we start a new week with a high of 76 and mostly sunny skies. Along with that cool front, we could also potentially see some rain on Saturday with a high of 57. So just keep that in mind as you're making your weekend plans. I'm Elizabeth, and Haley and Cooper, it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. With the end of the semester coming up quickly, many students are focusing on their future plans after the semester ends in May. And Cooper, I understand you recently stopped by an event that helped some students decide what to do if they happen to be looking for options after graduation.
That's right, Haley. Last Wednesday in the Fireplace Room, the Rawls College of Business hosted a graduate program open house for students here at Tech to learn about graduate programs offered on campus, as well as enjoy some free snacks, ice cream, and get a free t-shirt to go along with it.
Valentina, a Master of Business student, says the college has multiple master's programs that they are trying to raise awareness for and help get the students continue their education at Tech.
So I work in the Rawls Graduate and Professional Program office. We have multiple master's programs that we are trying to get out there. We are trying to get our students to go into the second level of education, which is a master's degree. We're offering Master of Data Science, Master of Business, Master of Data in Finance, and Master in Analytics.
Students attending the event were able to learn about the highly ranked master's and doctoral programs, hear from current professors, take home free swag, and even RSVP for a chance to win door prizes. William Lee, a student assistant for the graduates program, helped out with the event and said he enjoyed the free meal and interacting with people interested in the programs.
I'm loving it. I'm getting the ice cream, got the burgers and everything, so I'm loving it.
Valentina says that even students outside of the College of Business should look into the Rawls programs to find out if the program will be a good fit for them.
There's different options for even STEM students, for even business students that we would like to get out there, and that's basically what we're doing this whole event.
For more information about the Rawls Graduate Business Programs, visit rawlsbusiness.ttu.edu/graduate. For MCTV, I'm Cooper Beaumariage.
There wasn't a lot of competitive action here on campus this weekend, but there's still some big headlines coming from Texas Tech athletics today.
And one of those headlines involves a former Red Raider athlete who's already making his mark in the professional world less than a year removed from his time in Lubbock. MCTV's Joshua Ermis has the details on that story and more in sports. Joshua?
Thank you, Cooper and Haley. Texas Tech sports had quite the weekend, as is par for the course for the spring. The Red Raiders were in action on the diamond once again. Tech football is gearing up for their annual spring game, but the biggest news came on the golf course with a tradition unlike any other. While Hall of Fame broadcaster Vern Lundquist called his 40th and final Masters, former Red Raider Ludwig Oberg participated in his first. Just a year ago, Ludwig was still in college here at Texas Tech. On Sunday, he finished not only his first Masters, but his first major appearance as the solo second-place golfer. Oberg finished 7 under par, only 4 strokes back from winner Scotty Scheffler. If his first major performance is any indication, Ludwig Oberg has a bright future ahead. Texas Tech baseball traveled to Fort Worth for a 3-game conference series against the TCU Horned Frogs beginning on Friday of last week. On Friday, Tech jumped out to a 1-0 series advantage, dominating TCU 7-1. The win was highlighted by a stellar performance from Red Raider infielder TJ Pompey, who clocked his 8th home run of the season and 3 RBIs. Also in the win, Ryan Free, Jacob Rogers, and Josh Sanders held strong on the mound, only giving up 5 hits and a run. Unfortunately, the rest of the weekend did not bode well for Texas Tech. On Saturday, TCU evened up the series with a 4-2 victory, with Tech scoring both their runs early in the second inning and failing to follow them up. Kyle Robinson threw nearly 7 innings on the bump with 99 pitches, giving up 3 of TCU's 4 runs. Tech finished their weekend in Fort Worth, dropping the series at 2-1 with a 4-3 loss on Sunday. The Horned Frogs jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning. The Red Raiders would tie the game up in the top of the 4th, but would fall back behind a half inning later as the 4-3 score would carry to the end of the game. With the loss, Texas Tech falls to 26-10 overall and 9-9 in the Big 12 heading into their next series, that being a 2-game out-of-conference stint in Fayetteville, Arkansas against the top-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks of the SEC. The first of those 2 games will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Texas Tech softball hosted the Kansas Jayhawks this past weekend for a 3-game conference series. Tech kicked off the series with a thrilling 6-5 walk-off victory. Down 5-3 heading into the bottom of the 7th, the Red Raiders rallied off 3 runs, with Demi Elder sending the walk-off run home after 2 out base hit bounced off the glove of a Jayhawk infielder, giving the Red Raiders the first win of the series. Pitcher Maddie Wright, who threw over 120 pitches, also scored her 9th win. Game 2 on Saturday saw Kansas even out the series in extra innings. Both teams dominated offensively, with every player that took the plate getting on base at least once. The game was tied at 12 apiece going into the 8th inning, where Kansas rattled off 3 runs that would not be answered. Tech lost 15-12. The misery wouldn't last long, though. Tech finished off the series on Sunday with a 4-2 win that saw junior Rancy Willis pitch the first complete game of her career. Demi Elder also finished 2 for 3 with a 2-run bomb in the second that Kansas could not recover from. The 4-2 win gave Tech the 2-1 series win. Texas Tech softball now sits at 26-13 overall and 6-9 in conference play. They begin a 2-week road stint this Friday as they face off against Oklahoma State in Stillwater at 6 p.m. Finally, Texas Tech football will be hosting its annual spring game this Saturday in Midland. Texas Tech will hold their spring game this Saturday under a new format. Gone is the usual color-based matchup, as this year, 2 sides of the roster will be captained by its stars. Team Taj Brooks will face off against Team Baron Morton. Along with the roster, the coaching staff will also be split, as offensive coordinator Zach Kitley will coach one side and defensive coordinator Tim DeRuiter will coach the other. Head coach Joey McGuire will monitor the action at midfield. The rosters will be decided in the days leading up to the game. Once again, this year's spring game will be held in Midland, Texas this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. It is free to attend. That's all for Texas Tech Sports. Now back to Cooper and Haley.
Thanks, Joshua. If you happen to eat out at a restaurant over the weekend, you might have seen some high school students dressed up and ready to head to prom.
But high schoolers weren't the only ones pulling out the ties, heels, and hairspray for a night of fun. Some Raiders also got to dance the night away during an event that has become an annual tradition for one college here at Texas Tech. The 3rd annual MCOM prom was held last Thursday at Jones Stadium in Texas Tech Club West Suite, starting at 7 p.m. Students were encouraged to throw on their best 2000s era fancy outfit and enjoy free food, dancing, and a night to remember. The MCOM prom has become a tradition for the College of Media and Communication after starting the event in 2022. The MCOM prom was meant to be a replacement for students who graduated during the COVID pandemic but didn't get to go to prom because of a lockdown or other safety precautions. Since then, the college has continued the event to give students a chance to meet other majors in the college with less pressure than the typical high school version of the American tradition. Last Thursday's prom continued until 10 p.m. with music from KTXT-FM, food from Tech Catering, and a selfie station to remember the moment.
So, Haley, did you stop by the MCOM prom last week?
I wasn't able to. Did you?
I was not able to either.
It did look like fun.
It did. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.